Welcome to our third animation class. In this class, we are going to be creating this moving rainbow. The first thing we want to do is we want to go to Gallery. So first open up Procreate, go to Gallery, and if you have a stack, open up your stack. Now we're going to create a canvas, and the canvas size needs to be 2800 by 2800. So in your list here, you may have that setup already in place. Go ahead and click it. But if you don't, you're going to click here and you will type in 2800 by 2800 and then hit create. And then it'll pull up your canvas for you. So I'm going to go ahead and tap here and open up my canvas. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create a background. So we're going to come here and make sure we're on layer 1. We're going to choose a lighter color. Now it can be any color you choose. It does not have to be a sky blue. It could be a lavender, or it could be any color you'd like it to be. I'm going to choose a very light color. So I'm going to come up here and choose a really, really light color for mine. And then I'm going to drag it down here. Then I'm going to tap layers, and we're going to create another layer that we're going to draw our clouds on. So you're going to want to go and make sure that you have white. If white is not here, then you can double tap close to the white area, and that should give you a pure white. We're going to change our brush. We're going to go down to calligraphy. So click on the brush icon, go down to calligraphy, and we're going to choose the monoline brush. You're going to come towards the bottom here, and you're going to draw a cloud. Now a cloud is a bunch of the letter C drawn around. So we're going to draw a bunch of C's, the letter C's, to create a cloud. And then you're going to drag the color to fill it. Now my clouds are sitting a little bit low, so while I'm on the cloud layer, I'm going to choose the arrow up here. And touching outside of the dash box, I'm going to pull it up. That looks good. And then tap the arrow again, and that will unselect the clouds. I'm going to go back to my layers up at the top here. I'm going to click the plus sign to add another layer. And we're going to turn on clipping mask. So we're going to tap it and turn on clipping mask. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some shading on our clouds here. And we've turned on clipping mask because that locks everything onto the cloud, so it will not draw on the background or outside of the clouds. So we're going to choose a color. So you want to choose a little darker color. And it can be any color you like. And then we're going to change our brush. And we're going to change our brush, spray paint, We're going to go to spray paint, and we're going to choose flick. We're going to set our brush to be at about 20%. And then we're just going to come along here and drag along the bottom here and add some nice little flicks to the clouds. Okay, once we've done 20%, we're going to move our brush down to 7%. And we're going to go along the edges and make it a little darker along the edges here. It should look something like that. And remember, if you do something that you don't like, you can undo with the arrow here, or do a two-finger tap on the screen will undo. All right, that looks really nice. So now we're going to merge this layer with this layer. So tap the layer and tap merge down, and that will make it one layer. Now we're ready to turn on Animation Assist. So we're going to go to the wrench, which is the actions, and we're going to go to Canvas, and we're going to tap on Animation Assist. And if you notice, this little bar or menu comes up. So we want our background to stay the background for the entire animation. So we're going to tap on this first frame here. These are called frames. And we're going to turn on background. That's going to set the background. background. And then the clouds are going to be the foreground. So we're going to tap the next frame and we're going to turn on foreground. So the rainbow will actually be moving in between these two frames. Now let's go up to our layers again, and we're going to go back down to layer 1, and we're going to add a layer, and we're going to draw a rainbow. So we need to change our brush. So we're going to change our brush to the painting, go down to painting, and choose Nico Rule. Now we're going to choose a color, and I'm going to choose a dark, medium, and light color. You can choose any colors you like, any combination. I'm going to start with a darker color. And I'm going to check my brush here, and I want my brush to be about 14%. And I'm going to start in the middle of the cloud here, and I'm going to go around to here. So here. But you know what? That's a little too small. Let's make it bigger. So let's go up to 20%. And let's see how that looks. That looks good. So we're going to go 20%, and I'm pressing down as I'm bringing my rainbow over. Now I'm going to choose a lighter color, and I'm going to do the same thing. And if these sections are not large enough for you, you can just increase the size there. And then I'm going to go with a lighter color. And I'm going to draw right around here, making sure I'm going into the cloud. So for me, the rainbow is a little too far over to this side. So I'm going to go up to, it looks like a magic wand, but it's the adjustments, and I'm going to choose liquefy. I'm going to make sure that push is turned on, and then I'm going to increase the size here to about 70%. And then I'm going to come over and just push and push like that. Push this a little bit and maybe push it a tad here in the center. Maybe pull that down a little bit. There we go. So you just, adjust it a little bit. You don't want to do too much because you could mess up the rainbow, but just gently go in and add some little pushes here and there. And I'm going to move this over. There we go. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to begin erasing. And we need to choose our erase tool. So we're going to go up to the eraser, and you're going to choose the painting flat brush, and that should be set to about 14%. And what we're going to do is we're going to erase from this side, and we're going to erase going all the way around. And we're going to do it frame by frame. So now we have a full rainbow here. So we're going to tap that rainbow, and we're going to choose duplicate. Okay. Now we're going to come in and we're going to erase a little bit of the rainbow. But I think I want my brush to be a little bigger. So I'm going to move it up to, you could keep it at 20%, 14%, but I'm going to go up to 20%. Okay. Then we're going to come down here. I'm going to push on the frame there, tap on the frame, and we're going to duplicate. And then we're going to come here and we're going to erase a little bit more. We're going to duplicate again, and we're going to come and we're going to erase a little bit more. Tap that same frame, duplicate it, and we're going to erase a little bit more. Duplicate it. Okay, we're going to do that again until, we'll keep doing this until we have the entire rainbow erased. And I like to go over it several times just to make sure, as you see me going back and forth here, just to make sure that I get everything erased. And you can notice down here as well that you can see the rainbow getting smaller and smaller. And I'll do one more here, and then I'll go into the clouds. So if we tap play, you can see that the rainbow is going pretty fast. So let's pause it. Let's go over to settings. And I think a good speed is about 5, between 5 and 7. So if we play it, and then you see how it jumps back really fast once it ends. Okay, so we need to make the frame last a little longer towards the end. So we're going to go to the very end of the rainbow, not the clouds. This is the clouds. So we're going to go to end of the rainbow, and we're going to tap it. And we're going to do a duration. We're going to move the duration to about 5. And what that does is that adds extra time there for it to sit. So let's do that again. We'll watch it, and it'll sit for a little bit before it starts again. Okay? Now let's pause, and let's move all the way back to the very first rainbow. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work backwards. So we're going to work this way. And it can be a little confusing, so I'm going to remind you what to do each time. So the first thing we want to do is to tap the rainbow, and we're going to duplicate it, and then we're going to go back one. So we're going to go back to the first frame, and we're going to erase from this side. So the eraser should still be on. So we're going to come here and erase. We're going to tap, duplicate, go back to the first frame. Tap, duplicate, go back to the first frame. And the reason I'm reminding you is because it is very easy to forget. I know, I've done it several times. So tap, duplicate, go back to the first frame. Tap, duplicate, go back to the first frame. And remember to rub several times just to make sure you get the entire thing erased. Tap, duplicate, go back to the first frame. 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 We're almost there. Tap, duplicate, go back to the first frame. Tap, duplicate, go back to the first frame. Tap, duplicate, go back to the first frame. Now, while we're here, we're going to want to pause this frame as well. We're going to make it last the duration. We're going to pull the duration out. So tap it, go to duration, and go to about 5. Now we can tap play, and you can see that it's going across. So we want to do one more thing to make it go across and then back again. So come over to settings, tap settings, and choose ping pong. Oh, maybe we need to pause it first. Settings, pause, settings, ping pong, play. Look how nice that looks. Now, if that's too slow for you, you can still change your settings, and you could go up a couple of frames faster. So I just went up to 10. You get to choose the speed that you want it to be. Once you have completed this assignment, it's time to share it or save it. So you're going to go up to the wrench. You're going to share it as an animated GIF to your drive. And you've just made a moving rainbow.